You're going to love this. Trust me, what you're seeing now is my normal state. This is a Super Saiyan. And this...
What's he doing?
is to go even further beyond!
Welcome back everyone, I hope you guys enjoyed that little intro. In this video, I'm gonna play the Dragon Ball Z class and hopefully be able to beat Moonlord. If you're a Dragon Ball Z fan and you like Terraria, then this video is for you. Stick around and enjoy. Alright, so right when I spawned in, I noticed that there was already a house for me, which was great. I didn't have to make my own. I started to chop down some trees soon after to get some wood. I wasn't really sure how to get started, so I wandered to the right and ended up getting stopped by a huge wall of sand and a face monster. I traveled left instead and found a cave that led me to the underground ice biome, where I mined for some materials. I found a spider cave and was hoping to find a web slinger hook, but unfortunately a spider got through and killed me. When I got back up, I expanded my house and also built some pumpkin armor. I wasn't sure on how to get my first Dragon Ball weapon, so instead I went down underground and found some more life crystals. Back at home, I placed some chests down and built some NPC houses. At night, there was a blood moon, and after killing a few monsters, I got something called the stable key crystal. I used the crystals combined with some scrap metal to make the Z table, and with the table, I made all 3 weapons, starting with the key blast, the energy wave, and finally the key beam. Now that I have some actual weapons, I summoned the Eye of Cthulhu at night. It took me a very long time to beat the boss because once I ran out of ki, I had no way of recharging it. There are armor and accessories that could recharge it, but I didn't have my hands on those just yet. However, I did have one accessory that could recharge my ki, but that's only if I were to get hit. I was low on health and I decided to go get healed by the nurse, and fortunately enough it also restored all of my ki. I wanted to finish things off with a bang, so I used the energy wave. After defeating the Eye of Cthulhu, I went down the Crimson and found the Goblin Tinkerer. I bought the rocket boots and the Tinkerer's workshop from him. And then I summoned the Brain of Cthulhu. I decided to use the key beam for this fight since the projectiles can go through all of the mobs, so it's basically like the space gun. I ran out of ki during the fight and I was low on health, so I had to keep dodging until I had enough health to get hurt to regain some ki to finally finish it off. I was in the ice biome farming some ki crystals. I killed a slime and it dropped a ice energy talisman, which increased my ki damage and regen as well. The main part is the ki regen, because now I don't have to get hit to regenerate it. I went back to the Crimson and started killing some monsters there because now they will drop the Calm Ki Crystal, which is the next tier, as well as some Earthen Shards. When I got back home, I made the Turtle Hermit gear, which is going to increase my ki damage and ki regen a lot more. I also combined my ki blast and ki crystals to make the next weapon, the Blast Barrage, and this thing shoots a lot faster with a lot more projectiles. Next up, I wanted to make a flying mount, so I went up to Sky Island and started collecting some clouds. I got back home and made the Nimbus whistle. I was actually surprised on how high this thing could fly up. I got back up to another sky island and farmed some astral essentia. With some of the essence, I made the Masenko, which is an upgrade from the energy beam. I made the spirit ball that acts like a magic missile, and also the Destructo disc. I then hurried to the dungeon and summoned Skeletron because it was almost daytime, but with the Masenko, I killed it extremely fast. After defeating Skeletron, I went down the dungeon and collected the Cobalt Shield. I finished mining to hell, and then I started building a really long bridge to fight the Wall of Flesh. I mined some Hellstone, and then I made the Saiyan battlesuit. I went back down to hell to summon the Wall of Flesh, and with the Masenko, it completely obliterated the entire army of Hungaries. After defeating the Wall of Flesh, I went to the Crimson and started breaking some Crimson altars. I started off mining some Cobalt first, then Mithril, and then finally Adamantite. I killed some hard mode monsters and got some prideful key crystals to make the Kamehameha and the Hell Zone grenade. I summoned the Destroyer and used the Destructo disc on it, right onto the clumped up part of it right when it spawned to deal massive amounts of damage. On the next night, I summoned the twins. I used the Blast Barrage first, but it was kinda hard to hit the twins with, so I switched over to the Kamehameha. Then finally, I summoned the last mechanical boss, Skeletron Prime. It was during this fight where I noticed that the Hellzone grenade projectiles actually home in, so I ended up using this weapon throughout the entire fight. With all the souls from the 3 mechanical bosses, I made the Demon Shirt and the Demon Pants. Plus, I upgraded my Kamehameha to the Super Kamehameha. Afterwards, I went to the jungle and found the Plantera bulb. I broke the bulb and started charging my Kamehameha. But this weapon goes through ki super fast, so I had to wait until my ki was full again. However, when it did switch to a second phase, that's when I moved on to the Hellzone grenade. I figured that the plants that surrounded Plantera would just block the laser anyways. Now that Plantera has been defeated, mobs now drop the pure key crystal. Afterwards, I went to the dungeon and farmed some ectoplasm to make the Spirit Charm. I figured I had some time to find the 7 Dragon Balls, so I used the Dragon Radar MK1 to search for them. Whenever I got too close to one, the arrow would just spin out, which meant that I was really close. Once I collected the last Dragon Ball, I was able to wish for a gift. And the gift I chose was power. There was a blood moon, and after killing some possessed armor, they would sometimes drop souls of entity. And with these souls, I made the scatter shot. It's like the Hellzone grenade, but the projectiles home in instantly. I went to the jungle temple afterwards and summoned Golem. The energy barrage is definitely the weapon of choice to fight this boss with, since the projectiles fire really fast and it also lingers in the area for a little bit. After defeating Golem, I found out how to activate my Kaioken form, and it's by pressing the K key on the keyboard. Once activated, a red aura appears around my character. that drains 5 health per second, but it also grants a 10% increase in ki damage, 5% increase in other damage types, and 10% increase in speed, but it also drains ki 10% faster as well. I went to the dungeon and summoned the lunatic cultist right after. Also, at this time, I just figured out how to charge up my ki manually. So yeah, I could have had a much smoother start at the beginning, but it doesn't really matter now, since I'm already too far into the game. There was another weapon that I learned how to make, and it is the Spirit Bomb. It takes a very long time to charge up, but when it is fully charged, it does massive amounts of damage. Plus, it looks really appealing. I went down to hell and killed some devils to get their demonic souls. With the souls, I made the Kamehameha times 10. And just like the Spirit Bomb, it takes an extremely long time to charge up. I also made the Supernova, which is like the Spirit Bomb, but it charges up way faster. I crafted some divine threads, and then I made the black fusion armor. There was another armor set that I could make, but I needed to kill Duke Fishron first, so I built a platform at the ocean and then summoned him. After defeating Duke Fishron multiple times and collecting enough Kachin scales, I made the Elite Saiyan suit. I then went on to kill all 4 pillars to summon the final boss, Moonlord. And there we go guys, that was the Dragon Ball Z mod. It was unfortunate that I learned how to transform so late in the game. It would have been a lot easier though if I did know how to use it. But anyways, my final thoughts on this mod. It definitely would have been a lot better if they added in different mobs or bosses, but other than that it was actually quite enjoyable. The armor, the weapons, the key system, that was very interesting. But anyways you guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up, comment down below, and also subscribe to the channel. Oh, and one more thing, let me know what other mods I should check out. Alright, thanks for watching once again, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Kamehameha!